Good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Rick, Broadman Baptist Church from Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, and I'm talking to you today about the Broadman Word for November 1st, 2021. And we're going to talk about three types of courage today. And as usual, this is perspectives from the devotional Radical Wisdom. So let's talk about courage. Where does courage come from and why does it matter? Why would we be talking about this today? If you want to be brave, the source of that bravery matters. Who do you want to lean on? Especially if the outcome of your bravery or your courage isn't immediately known. You're acting on faith or because it's something that you think you need to do. Courage can come from within. There's usually three types of courage. Courage can come from within. Courage of some sort of conviction that you hold. You believe in something so much that you would stand up for it, even if there's potential harm involved. And the reason is because you have to. It's who you are. It's what you believe in. So you're gonna stand on that. There is courage from others, meaning courage from your identity, who you are in your family, maybe perhaps an organization, perhaps military, civil defense, maybe a school that you went to and your feelings about that, some other organization you're involved in, but courage that's derived from your identity, people that came before you, the history of the organization, all these things can play into it. And so in this case, you're leaning on that identity, your heritage, the bravery of the people that came before you in order to propel you through whatever situation it is you might need to be brave or courageous in. But then there's the preferred courage. It's the courage and bravery from God. Mostly it's the courage to obey. This one is all about who the need or the order of courage comes from, and obviously then the impetus or the why behind it. It's a desire, it's a commitment, it's an act to obey God no matter what the consequences or what the potential outcome might be. You act for the glory and the honor of God. You act out of love and respect and honor for the name of God. You act out of return for the love that was first shown you. So that doesn't involve letting go of fear, though. Some folks will tell you courage is simply letting go of fear. I don't necessarily agree with that. The absence of fear isn't courage. The absence of fear might bring you peace, but it's not necessarily going to bring you progress. Courage and bravery and exercising courage is moving through the fear, doing something in spite of the fear. That's where we find true courage, and that's where we find true love and honor of God, when we do something for Him, in service of Him, to move God's purposes in the kingdom forward, to truly be one of His soldiers, regardless of what the consequences, the personal consequences might be. A sort of famous quote from John Wayne would be that courage is being scared to death and saddling up anyway. So next time you're in a situation that requires courage, you hear somebody misrepresent the truth, or you hear somebody attack the gospel, or maybe even you, and you sort of get that nervous lump in your throat, or you get a little anxious, have the courage to represent the gospel accurately, and have the courage to put your life out there as an example. Have the courage to ask the next tough question and expose the hypocrisy or the lie being told. And so the next time you think about doing something um, and you realize that it's going to require courage and bravery to accomplish, um, just act on it. Don't contemplate, don't overthink. Um, Decide that it's in the will of God, and you know that from prayer, petition, and from faith and hope that you have in the relationship of God with God that you've had for such a long time. Or even if you're a newer Christian and you're not quite sure what to do, still acting on what you know to be the will of God and in faith in the relationship you have with God is the thing to do. Um, Oftentimes, delay will cause us to allow other things to come into the situation that might dissuade us from acting bravely and with courage. So, the way we say that we learn more about God in one moment is from obedience than a lifetime of sacrifice. One more time. We can learn more in one moment of obedience to God than we can through a lifetime of sacrifice. So the question then is, will you take courage? Will you obey? Watch what happens in your heart as a result, and become truly a courageous Christian in all that you do. Listen, I love you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you next time.